And all right, so hi everyone, my name is John Kim. I'm the director and co-founder of Utopia, a nonpartisan think tank at the University of Washington. And welcome to our first meeting. So before we actually start to get into the core of what Utopia is about and our agenda, I'd like to take this opportunity for the members to introduce themselves first. And how I'm planning on doing that is having the new members introduce themselves and also talk about what they believe Utopia is before we actually reveal what Utopia is about and what they're hoping to gain from Utopia. So does anyone want to go first? Let's see. And if you want, you can start like calling someone. Yeah, if you want, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just gonna start with me. Yeah, I mean, we don't have enough members here, so I also gonna say something about us, right? So hi guys, my name is Aing, and so I joined UWtopia. Let me see, maybe 2 weeks ago, when John was proposed me about he wanted to have a platform of debate and discussions, and it was very I was very engaged in that idea because I believe that Europe students need a platform where they can express themselves freely and talking about important issues without being influenced by partisan thinking. And yeah, and I joined to the team and I was helping him. And yeah, so that is Utopia for me is a place where we have conversations. We have in we can practice our public speaking. We can practice critical thinking, and it's just a group of friends who like to talk about important issues. For me, it is like we're trying to build a community that genuinely care about the issues of this country.
Okay.
So yeah. So Beatrix, you can start first.
Yeah,
start next. Yeah, and you can pick the one after you.
I am Beatrix. I don't super know what is it Utopia or UWtopia?
I said UWtopia, but yeah.
So Bugard and I figured that Utopia sounds much more smoother, kind of like one pronunciation. So Utopia is kind of like how we pronounce it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I saw it was something like debate, but the vibe I got was more conversational, just talking about topics, and yeah, I just wanted to be part of a dynamic conversation that way.
Okay, and you'll find out pretty soon just exactly, what we are in more detail. Do you want to like call someone else now?
Farhana?
Okay. Hi, my name is Farhana. I'm a junior at UW, and I kind of think exactly on the same lines as Beatrix. It's more, it's kind of like a face-to-face message board about discussions. I think that's what UWtopia is, and I kind of want to learn from all of you because I myself don't know everything there is to know. So
neither do we.
Guys, I could learn from just different perspectives and experiences.
Okay, thank you. Bugar or June, do either of you guys want to go first?
I can go. Hi guys, I'm June. I'm also a junior. And I joined with Anne recently, and I think Utopia is a place where you can just have a conversation. I think it's pretty chill to just talk about serious debate topics. Like I think oftentimes I felt uncomfortable talking about these things because a lot of people would be like aggressive or they might be very hard set on their opinions, but this platform or this space I'm very happy to have because I feel like we're all open to these ideas, and I think it's important that we listen to other perspectives. And I'm really excited what we're going to talk about. So welcome, guys.
All right, and Bugard, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bugard. I'm a sophomore at UW. I think Utopia is a platform for people to freely discuss with no judgment, and you can hear different voices from different perspectives. Yeah.
Okay, and I'll just finalize with myself. So I am the co-founder of Utopia, and sort of where I drew inspiration from for starting an organization like Utopia was in my earlier years of college when I was sort of looking for a civic engagement group that really capitalized on students from all political backgrounds and experiences to sort of talk about a diverse range of topics without having to think about, what your political backgrounds are, whether you're from the left or right, and sort of having this opportunity where we can fill each other's gaps and voids in each other's knowledges, such that when we graduate with the title of university students. We're deserving of the title University of Students. And right now we're living in a society where it's increasingly difficult for people from across the political aisle to have civil and constructive discussions for each other. And this is where Utopia comes in. And with that, Anne, are we good to go? Should I start the presentation?
Wait, did
Can you
Dawit
guys hear
go?
me?
Dawit, oh yeah, can you hear us?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, like my idea wasn't working, so I didn't introduce myself. Hi,
Yeah,
my name
go
is
ahead.
DeWitt.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I think I just became a senior, so that's nice. I'm almost done school. I just saw like the posting yesterday, so I really don't know what I'm expecting. I just want to like see different perspectives and just like talk and debate, I guess. But yeah, I don't have any opinions about the group. I just looked it up yesterday.
Okay.
But yeah,
And
new perspectives. That's what I'm looking for.
all
We
right.
would love to learn more about you guys. So right now we're gonna go on to introduce ourselves, a presentation about what it is we are doing, because it seems like lots of members are still unsure what we do and who we are. So John is going to direct his presentation right now.
All right, thank you, Anne, for that nice introduction. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. So let's see, slides, and then, all right. So first off, welcome. Glad everyone was able to make it to today's first meeting. I'm really excited to share a little bit more in depth about what Utopia is about so that you guys are able to formulate your own thoughts and opinions moving forward into the quarter. So the agenda for today is going to be broken up into 4 different parts. So we're actually going to skip the first part because we've already done that, and it seems like we've done a pretty intensive job of introducing ourselves. We're going to talk about the American Talk, which is our proprietary debate program structure. We're also going to talk about the rewards and incentives, which I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be excited to learn more about, as well as the Up to Us partnership, which we'll reveal much more in depth later on. So I'm going to go ahead and just start from here. So what you see here on the screen here is sort of encompassing of what we are like on the surface, but Utopia is much more of a debate club. In fact, I think this is sort of a platform where it addresses one of the major flaws in our university system, which is the sort of lack of open and free space for students to be able to discuss a comprehensive range of issues. For example, a lot of the issues that are being covered in the mainstream media, as well as what politicians are currently focused about, are not necessarily the sort of main grievances we have as university students, as fellow Americans, or maybe even international students for those who are currently joining us right now. So Utopia is here to sort of create that environment, to create that space, and to address that sort of lacking in our higher education system. And we're very much a members-oriented organization. This is sort of a philosophy I kind of drew from Jeff Bezos and his customer obsession. But for us, it's our members. So we place the members at the forefront of everything we do. In fact, they are in front of our leadership members. The sort of intangible benefits that we're really hoping that our members will gain are going to be much greater in contrast to sort of the other civic engagement campus organizations we have. And so I'm going to go in more in depth about what exactly those intellectual and material benefits are going to be, but just get a general understanding that we're here to help you manifest and articulate your thoughts. So many of you guys don't have the opportunity to be able to speak in front of other people. And so Utopia is also going to be a platform where you're going to enable yourself in order to do that, as well as meeting industry leaders in the field of public policy. So me and Anne, as well as Edward, who's our senior advisor and not here with us today, we have a sort of network.
We have Edward on the line right now. So by the way.
Okay, Edward, we're going to have time for you to introduce yourself later on, but we're just going to go ahead with the presentation. So yeah. we have connections, we have networks, and we're really hoping to invite a lot of these really great thinkers onto our platform just so that they could share their insights, and you could also directly interact with them yourself. So we're going to give you that first step to an active civic engagement sort of participation in a university setting. So that's what we're really excited and hoping that will take place in the future. So the American Talk. So the American Talk is sort of an idea that I worked on over the last couple of months, which is it's a voluntary opt-in program. So you definitely don't need to feel compelled or forced to speak up when you necessarily don't want to. But members who have a certain passion for a particular issue can have it be up for suggestion, and we can vote on the variety of topic proposals that we have. And once we are able to get ourselves selected on a particular debate topic, we are going to undergo a process of where two parties are going to be formulated, with one party going to take the for stance and one party is going to take the against stance. And we're going to sort of take a comprehensive breakdown of the debate topic, which is something that you usually don't get to see in sort of our mainstream news media, where a lot of these topics are only covered on the superficial level. And there's also going to be a democratic process after the debates where you're going to have the audience members vote for which team did a better job in terms of presentation and style, as well as having more discussions between the audience members and the presenters after the debate's over. So the reason why I'm calling it proprietary is because the way our debate structure is structured in such a way that's more flexible. So if you watch the presidential election debate and the vice presidential election debate, like I did, I think it was last night, what you tend to see is these candidates want to allocate their time differently for different issues. For example, if you look at Mike Pence, he wants to talk more about the economy. If you look at Kamala Harris, she wants to talk about the racial tensions in the issue and the COVID-19 response from the Trump administration. And so we wanted to address that issue by creating a flexible debate structure where out of the 4 components you see listed here on the screen, so presentation, counterarguments, rebuttals, and closing statements, you can allocate your time however you wish. So if you're more presentation oriented, you can definitely focus on presentation. If you're more oriented on counterarguments, you can focus on your counterarguments. Or if you're someone who's really into fancy, elaborate closing statements, maybe you could spend more time on that. But at the end of the day, it's really dependent upon your strategy to win your debates and being able to convince your audience members on why your stance on the particular debate topic that you're talking about works more than your opponent. And there's also going to be a moderator who's going to keep time and will announce, if you have 15 minutes left, 10 minutes left, 5 minutes left. And it's probably more than likely that I'll take on the moderator role. But if anyone here wants to volunteer themselves to be moderator, then feel free to do so. So these are sort of like potential list of topics for some of you out there who might necessarily feel passionate about a certain topic, but is kind of just curious and inquisitive in terms of what the topic entails. So we have stuff like cancellation of student loan debt, term limits for congressional representatives, universal health care, UBI, rise of China, affirmative action, climate change, immigration, police, and AI. So we have a diverse range of topics that we can definitely talk about. And one of our members brought up disabilities and the sort of lack of addressing for disability accommodations on our campus, as well as public facilities in the Washington state. So that's also definitely a topic that we can talk about because we're flexible as an organization. And so this is just simply to give you a warm up of terms of like what we can talk about. Rewards and incentives. So I'm pretty sure everyone's looking forward to this part of the presentation the most, which is our rewards and incentives program. So simply attending and voting will give you 2 Utopian points. Participating and obtaining majority vote will give you a total of 4 points for the American Talk debate program. And if you're able to successfully invite a prominent faculty member, a politician, professional relating to not just politics or economics, but a field of study that's relevant, then you'll be able to gain 4 Utopian points, which is a pretty big deal. And we're gonna, describe a system a bit more in detail in terms of how you can go through this invitation process and what sort of resources and links me and Anne can provide you to help you do so. In terms of how you're gonna spend the points, you're gonna get 16 possible points just from daily attendance. So you're gonna get all of the prizes that you see here on the screen just from attending all of our meetings. So custom Utopia t-shirts, 4 points, and our core Utopian party. Unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 situation and the fact that many of us are off campus right now, what I'm going to do is if you earn the 8 points, then whenever on-campus instruction restarts, which hopefully is soon and on the horizon, then I'm going to personally arrange a really nice party for everyone. So it's going to be food, drinks, and maybe even more prizes at the party if you earn those 8 points. And then we're also going to get a participation trophy for people who attended all of the meetings. And finally, and this is probably the most exciting part, which is the tier list for the top 3 people who earned the most points. So in 3rd place, we have something called a master. So our master title earns $20 Amazon gift card plus a Utopia custom hat. 2nd place title is called Grandmaster, and they're going to get a $25 Amazon gift card plus a custom hoodie. And the 1st place is champion. And we really raised the stakes here with a $50 Amazon gift card plus a custom hoodie. So if you're kind of looking around you right now, you're noticing, Utopia is a pretty brand new organization. What's really in it for me? Well, this is sort of it for the people who are sort of materialistically incentivized. So we're really hoping that you guys are going to participate a lot, and we're really looking forward to distributing these rewards out to deserving members in our organization. And before we go into Q&A, I'm just going to address some of the more frequently asked questions, which is that, what if everyone has the same viewpoint? The beauty of Utopia is that because we are so flexible in terms of our viewpoints, and what we really try to emphasize on being able to put ourselves in the shoes of the opposite side, you don't have to agree with the stance to argue for it. We encourage students to think with versatility and to broaden their perspectives. We have a model debate on our YouTube channel, which I think Anne maybe can share later on with the rest of the team members. But there's a debate where me and Edward talk about the large national debt. And I was arguing for the stance of why the large national debt can be a good thing for our economy. And that's not a stance that I personally align with, but I gained so much of a deeper insight in terms of how comprehensive and how intricate and how deep the matter of a large national debt is in terms of how leverage can be used to fuel economic growth, which will then propel us out of our debt situation. And so if you have a certain viewpoint, but if you want to argue for a different viewpoint, you absolutely can. And do you have to be a debate participant at least once? No. So the decision is wholly left up to the individual to feel comfortable with debating. But obviously, if you don't have a debate participant, volunteering themselves, then I or one of the members on our leadership can volunteer for that role. And what we're planning on doing is having our debates be recorded. And this sort of follows along the same train of logic where our meetings are recorded just so that we have tangible evidence to show to sort of the external people outside of our organization, just to get them a more insider viewpoint of what Utopia is about and what we're doing and how we function. And yeah, so that basically answers the last question as well. So with that, that's Oh, and one last thing, partnership up to us. So you may be wondering, how in the world are you, handing out these prizes, these really great prizes? It's because of our partnership with Up to Us. So Up to Us is a foundation that's really advocating for a sustainable fiscal future. So addressing the large national debt and what our policy makers can do in order to cut back on our budget deficits and ensure that the debt limit does not reach too high of a point to the point where it crowds out investments and other public spending. And so if you sign the pledge, if you haven't done so already, you can help us by putting us in a good position for earning the first place award, which is $10,000. So if we win this $10,000, this is going to be directly reinvested back into Utopia, into providing better quality rewards, dinners, and field trips. And field trips are something where we're looking to see if we can arrange field trips to go to the Washington State Capitol, for example. That could be an exciting field trip idea that we can all, commonly share. So if you can help us out by signing the Up to Us pledge to help us win this competition, then we'd be really happy about that. So with that, last slide. Anne, do you want to say something?
Yeah, John, can you tell them? Can you tell everyone about our ranking?
Our ranking, yeah.
On Up to Us right now.
Thank you for bringing that up. So as of September 29th, so this is a bit outdated, and our numbers are probably much higher. We're currently ranked, let's see, 4th, 5th, 6th place. So as you can see, one or two pledge difference doesn't make that much. One or two pledges makes a really great difference in terms of where we are in our standings. And even in being just the top 10, we're in a position to secure $1,000, which is still a large sum of money. So if you have friends or family members you can contact and share the Up to Us pledge link with, which we have on our slide, but also on our Facebook page as well. If you can just share that pledge with other people, you can help us put in a good position to be at least in the top 5. Because 127 pledges is what it takes to be in first place. So it sounds like a lot, but in terms of like networking effects and so forth, it's not a terribly difficult ordeal. So, Anne, do you want to further elaborate on that?
Well, I'm just very looking forward to it. And yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I'm going to, let's see, any questions from anybody? Questions you guys have?
Yeah, for Hannah.
Yeah.
Did you raise your hand?
Yeah, speak up if you have a question.
Yeah, I was wondering if we can add a topic of limiting the textbook price as one of the debate topics.
It's funny that you bring that up because we're going to start transitioning into the stage where after our game show, we're going to start voting for our various debate topics. And we're going to have a discussion about which debate topic we want to talk about for next week. So,
because I think it really would be an interesting topic to talk about.
I'm sure it's an interesting topic for all of us college students here. Textbook prices are a pretty big deal for all of us.
It's ridiculous, you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they can be free.
Could you repeat that?
Oh, I said like they can be free if
they can be free. Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying anything.
For certain, in some classes, yes, they can be free, but in other classes, they could range somewhere from $22 to $120. I'm not saying make it free.
Oh, no. Oh, when I said it can be free, I mean like the PDF can be free.
Right, the ebook.
Yeah,
even when I purchase books in my program, for the ebook section, I also have to pay as much as the physical book.
Oh no, I'm trying to say like you can find it for free.
If you do like a Google search for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I didn't want to like say it though, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, we understand what you're saying. Okay, so I think if that's it for questions, I'm going to go ahead and move to Poll Everywhere. So I'm pretty sure hopefully everyone's familiar with Poll Everywhere. As UW students, we all use it quite often. And we're going to play the Do You Speak American game show. So everyone, if you can log into Poll Everywhere right now, pollf.com/JK807, or if you have the mobile application version, log into that. And just let me know when you guys are finished.
Yeah, let's tell them about the price of having the price of the game show.
Yeah, so if you
Wait, what's the user to join?
if you look on the screen here, and I can they won't let me highlight it, but the user name is JK and then the number is 807. So JK807.
So make sure you go to the polef.com. You have to go to the website first and then enter John's username.
Yeah, and had a
Yeah.
problem with it during our rehearsal debate, so it's an issue that can happen. Yeah,
Because you don't give me the link.
right there on the screen.
Okay, I know.
Okay. All right, I'll give you guys like 2 minutes to do that. You know, it really would have been nice to have the chat function, but yeah, Zoom's not complying with us today.
You can enable it in settings.
Yeah, so I looked through settings right now. I can make you co-host just for the sake of like, so you can see what I'm seeing on my end. But basically, there is no enabling chat function on my end, or maybe it's just me. It might just be me, but I can't see it.
No. It's the same as me. I can't enable the chat function.
Yeah, so June, you're co-host, so you can try like digging around and see if you can find it.
Yeah. So anybody able to log in yet?
So give me like a
yeah.
yes or no.
Just raise your hand if you
Yeah,
log in.
raise your hand. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up if you. All right.
David?
David, I can't see your hand, obviously. If you say yes.
I'm already in. Thank
All right, you
Okay.
guys are in? All right,
Awesome.
sounds good. So let's go ahead and start with the play. So welcome to our Utopia's Do You Speak American game show. All right, so first question. Which of the following is the Sixth Amendment? 10 seconds.
No, I haven't even clicked anything.
There's I think 8 people and only 4 results. Okay, so make sure you guys pace yourself better next time. But the correct answer is right to criminal trial by jury. So just for information purposes, I think the first one is, I believe, the Seventh Amendment, and the right against self-incrimination is the Fifth Amendment, and the rights not directly delegated to federal government is the 10th Amendment. So just for your guys' reference. All right, so who's currently Bugard, Beatrix, and then guest 849. So, all right, so which of the following is not included in the First Amendment? So it's a little bit of an easier question. Two, 1, 0, get your answers in. And the answer is right to privacy. That is not included in the First Amendment. Okay. So Beatrix, first place. All right, nice job, everyone. Okay, third question. In what war did the United Nations send military forces for the first time? So this is going to depend on your knowledge of the United Nations. So which is it? Vietnam War, Iraq-Iran War, Indo-Pakistani War, or the Korean War? All right, the answer is
Korean War.
the Korean War. So this was a bit of a hard question for everyone. But let's see if the leadership board changed. So that puts Edward in second place now. All right, so let's go to the next question. What tools does the Federal Reserve usually use during economic recession? So everyone think about your Econ 200 days, if you guys took Econ 200. So here's your options. Which one of these are it? 3, 2, 1, get your answers in. All right, so the correct answer is purchasing corporate bonds and assets. That's what they usually do during an economic recession. So selling of US treasuries, what that does, it increases the money supply in the economy, and therefore increases circulation to money. And the logic works something along those lines. But that was testing your economic theory knowledge there. So Bugard, that puts Bugard in first place. All right, next question. From what compromise did the U.S. get the bicameral legislature we have today? So which one of these options is the correct compromise? So So this is like AP US if you guys took US history during high school. And the correct answer is the Great Compromise. So it seems like most people got that answer. So congrats to everyone who did. Leadership board. All right, so it looks like Bugard's still, it's a tie for first place. Can I ask who guessed 849 is? Is that Jun? Jun, okay. I had lower expectations, but Jun's doing pretty good today.
Thanks, John.
Yeah,
That means a lot.
yeah, it's fun. What does the Monroe Doctrine say? So this is also US history. So which one of these answers is the correct definition? 3, 2, 1, get your answers in. The correct answer is mutual non-interference of US and European affairs. So it seems like we have a good number of people who understand the US history in this meeting, so that's good. Okay, so Chun definitely defined my expectations right now. Okay, in what case was judicial review established? So this is gonna draw on your legislation knowledge. So which one of these Supreme Court cases was judicial review established? Get your answers in. And the correct answer is Marbury v. Madison. I'm actually surprised somebody put McCulloch v. Maryland. So McCulloch v. Maryland was a case where judicial review was practiced, but the first case where it was actually established was Marbury v. Madison. So let's see if that changes the leadership board. It doesn't. In fact, everyone's the same. And next question is, which of the following 4 economic sectors is not calculated in GDP? So here are your answer choices. All right, 3, 2, 1. Correct.
Okay.
Current exchange. Current exchange is not calculated in GDP. So that draws on your economic knowledge. Okay. And I think, I'm not sure if this is the last question, but we're nearing the end. Which president enacted Medicare and Medicaid? So this one might be a little tricky for people who don't know your US president history.
I'm dying to say it, but I can't go to poll everywhere on time to answer it, but I'm dying to say it.
Oh, really?
Was it too fast?
Is it too fast for you?
No, I have to click back and forth between the Zoom screen and poll everywhere.
Yeah, that I can see. Sometimes I miss the questions too because I had to see.
I'll pick it. Before we move on to the next question, what I can suggest is if you can pull the screen towards like half, so it's like half and half here, so you can like split the screen, so you can look at the questions and at the poll everywhere, the Zoom meeting at the same time, if that's a possibility. Did that change? Let's see. Okay, so let's go to
next.
Yeah, wait, let's see. Wait, what happens if I pull out of the presentation? How do I get myself back in? Let's see, play.
Stop sharing.
Play anyway. Okay.
Oh.
So the correct answer. Okay, so I'll give you guys more time to answer this question. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So the correct answer is
Roosevelt. It's Roosevelt.
Lyndon Johnson. So there's this common myth that Franklin Roosevelt was the one who enacted Medicare and Medicaid, but he was the one to enact Social Security.
Oh yeah, Social Security.
Yeah, Social Security was Franklin Roosevelt, and then Medicare, Medicaid, and I think it was like the Civil Rights Act. That was under Lyndon Johnson. So
I remember Johnson very much because he's the one who involved in Vietnam War. So I was like, oh, I know everything about this guy.
Okay, wait, under which president did the Vietnam War end under?
Johnson is the worst, and Nixon, and yeah, but people hate Johnson more.
Did it go under Gerald Ford? I can't remember.
Not that I heard of.
Okay,
but yeah, but Johnson, like the worst time was Johnson, and then Nixon.
People were literally marching outside his office, weren't they?
And Nixon, it was the end of the war, and Nixon was cooperate was make peace with China, and they planned some plots against Vietnam as well. So
I didn't
yeah.
that Nixon wanted to admit that he was fighting a losing war.
All right.
But later he was befriended with the Chinese, and yeah, it wasn't
that a backdoor agreement? Like, didn't he send Henry Kissinger without anyone knowing that he actually did?
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want, that can also be another debate topic you guys can propose. So
yes.
keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I think this is the last question. So this might be the point where it's either make or break. Okay. So what is
John, hold on. I don't see your screen. Like
don't see my
your
screen?
Your screen is like too big.
Okay, let me start again. Is it better?
The main cause of World War.
Yeah, what is the main cause of World War I?
That's not tricky.
Not seeing any options.
All right, so which of these 4 options is the main cause of World War? And this is actually a little bit of a trick question because there's a World War II in some of these answers. So the correct answer is assassination of Austrian Archduke Ferdinand. That's the correct cause, okay? So the leadership board, so David takes it first place. So congratulations to David. So, and if you can, record 4 extra Utopian points to David. So he's
David, okay.
And then give 2 points to June for her valiant efforts. And then 1 point to Bugard. So we're gonna distribute points.
Wait, I have no point.
No,
neither did I. It's all right.
I'm sorry. You're like almost 1,000 points behind Bugard. Okay, you don't deserve the prize. Yeah. So 4 points to David.
Hold on. I need to record it. Sorry.
Yeah, write down. Yeah. So David, do you want to talk a little bit about how you were able to do so well in this game show? You want to like share, how you knew so much about it? Or if you don't, let's see, June, with your unexpected, turnaround, you got 2nd place. Could you talk a little bit about, where you, have this knowledge from? Where'd you get this knowledge from?
I practiced my guessing skills since I was a 1st grader. So that's where it
So wait, all multiple choice exams were guessing check for you?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
If it were, I would just guess.
Yeah. We're going to refrain from asking questions to June now, moving forwards. So, and did you record all of the points properly? Okay, so I'm going to get out of this and then move on to the next poll everywhere activity, which is going to be the American topic. So this is going to be one where everyone gets to input as many responses as they want. There's no limit on the number of debate topics you guys can propose. And so once I start once I start this activity activated, then you can go ahead and start responding. So I'm going to activate it now, and let me know if you guys can see it on your guys' end.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead.
So I can enter multiple topics, right?
Yeah, multiple. I think because I experimented it with myself as well, and you're allowed to put unlimited number of responses.
Oh.
Yeah, especially with the small group size we have now, I think it makes sense for people to just put as many debate topics out there. So. And
would you tell us what you're gonna do with this?
So once I deactivate it and lock the responses, I can click the show response option. And so the response that got the most, traction will be the biggest one on the screen. That's usually how it works. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys until 5:47, 5:48-ish to start thinking about and putting all of the debate topics. And it could be anything. It really could be anything. Under appropriate guidances, of course. But yeah, I'm really excited. In fact, I'll actually do it myself if I can find my phone. Let's see. So if you guys were tuning in to the vice presidential election debate last night, there were a lot of topics that were brought up there as well. So if you guys can sort of, if you guys watch the debate, sort of like think about what was one topic that really left an impression on me, whether it was said by Kamala Harris or Vice President Mike Pence. What was like one of the topics that really stood out to me? So.
Could we phrase our questions in any particular way?
Oh, you can phrase it any way you want. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just list out keywords.
Yeah.
And
Usually
then-
how this activity works, it picks up on keywords.
Yeah.
So, okay, I put down my top 3.
Oh, you already did? I have 5.
This isn't a competition, and this is just this is quality, quantity.
Everything is a competition.
Okay. If that's how you view it, all right. Yeah. You can take this director position if you want, if you're really that competitive. Yeah.
Yeah, set a competition.
Let's do it.
Okay, so do you guys need more time, or should I go ahead and show responses? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show responses on lock. So let's see how it turns out. Okay, wow. So let's see. So universal basic income came out. Government loan. I think gun. So in terms of like maybe gun control, Supreme Court, war, textbook. Out of all of these topics that you guys currently see here on the screen, which one do you guys particularly have in mind to talk about? And anybody can like start by speaking up.
Okay, let's start with Beatrix.
What was the direct question?
So the direct question was, out of all of the major keywords that you see here on the screen, which is a particular keyword that you would like to see be in the next debate?
Universal basic income.
Universal income. Okay.
What about it? Can you tell me a little bit about it? What's
Should the
point?
government enact universal basic income?
Universal.
And has that policy been made more apparent with the COVID situation we have now, where people need these stimulus payments to get by in their lives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Something to
for
debate
your
about.
thank you for your response. Okay. Yeah. So
So what is your why did you pick that? Do you have a personal reason for it?
yeah, do you have a history of UBI? I'm curious.
No, not. Well, I guess not personally, and I don't. Yeah, not personally, but you can see just how unequal society is, and it is exacerbated by COVID and everyone needing these stimulus payments, and how some people, their livelihoods rely on that. Buying food relies on those stimulus payments. There's so much food insecurity now, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot to say about it.
Right, I agree, because like there's many factors that come with that, like unemployment, and inequality in access of resource, like how the government will distribute their support aid. Like they aid a lot of money to like corporates, but for the single individual it's not so much. Like they pumping a lot of money to save the corporates, and it's just the distribution of resource is really great, especially during the COVID. So I think it's a great topic to talk.
And one additional thing I'd like to point out, Beatrix, notice how you went from answering with a simple yes to giving a full, well thought out statement. And so that's something we're really looking forward to seeing our members develop, which is their ability from just giving yes or no answers to giving full articulated statements on what you think about it. And also being able to supply that with facts, logics, and evidence, but that's in the future, obviously. I'm actually going to take this as an opportunity to ask Edward. Edward, what do you think?
Oh my God, I forgot to introduce Edward.
Yeah,
literally.
we want to make sure Edward's voice is heard.
Hi everyone, my name is Edward. I was late because I was driving back home from doing some reconnaissance. I recently graduated from UW with a degree in finance and material science engineering. Currently, I'm just making videos about theology. It's really great to see Udopia taking off, and John really keeping the idea of a great place to share ideas and learn different perspectives. I'm very happy to see all of you. I think UBI is a great topic. Um,
And
and it's
yeah,
nice
your
to-
hand.
Your hand's covering the camera. Are you done speaking?
Yes, that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot to preface this in the very beginning, but the reason why I call myself a co-founder rather than founder was because Edward played a very integral role in the founding of Utopia. And this Utopia is actually part of an unofficial organization from last year. And I sort of carried that on over to this year and got it officially registered with the RSO Hub and actually created a sort of permanent officialized structure for Utopia. And so that's why you're able to be in this meeting here today. So with that, I just wanted to continue, make sure that everyone has the ability to talk. So Anne, call out somebody else.
Yes, for Hannah.
For me, the top two were but wait, I have to look up what I wrote because I think I put a student loan and gun control in there as well. As well as universal health care. This is a really scary time in the United States, and with people losing their jobs, it feels like insurance should be guaranteed because anything can happen to anyone at any time. And the last thing people should be worried about is how am I going to pay for this? I've heard of I think it was in the Seattle Times, like during the beginning of the pandemic, that someone in Seattle went for COVID care and came back with a $2 million bill. I think that this person is already fighting COVID, and they just got the scare of their life. They don't need to be scarred further by thinking about how am I going to get that $2 million in.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I've heard so many personal stories regarding of the medical bills, how medical bills ruin people's life. And I think it's a really sad in a place like a country like the America, where people live with choice of go bankrupt or kill themselves rather to choose not using the medication and kill themselves slowly than paying the bills. So I think it's a really personal topic, and I would love to see people talking about it.
Okay.
And I've also heard stories of people prolonging or going to the doctor or procrastinating on their visits because they don't want to find out what's wrong with them, so they have to pay. So yeah, in these cases is where universal healthcare sounds really appealing.
Right. So in Taiwan, in Taiwan, you guys have universal healthcare, correct?
Yeah.
And I think you guys have a really good healthcare system there.
Yes.
How does it? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
So if we're sick, we can just get a doctor appointment very quickly, and it costs very little, like $200 NT dollars. It's like $7 US, so it's pretty cheap.
I see. Comparing, you had to pay insurance when you go to the States too, right?
Yeah, and the quality
is that like a lot, right? It's like a lot of money for insurance, international insurance,
right.
I believe.
Yeah, I have to pay like $300 quarterly.
How's the quality there? What's your impression of the American healthcare?
I never experienced the American healthcare system because once I'm sick, I just go to the drugstore and buy medicine myself. Yeah, it's really hard to book an appointment very fast in the United States.
Mm, I
I'm an
see.
American and I don't really use the American healthcare system all that much myself too. So I can guess that. Yeah, for the sake of like time purposes, we're just gonna like start moving quickly. And can you call the next person?
Yeah, so David, can you, David,
Can you
right?
hear us?
Can you hear us? So do you want to share something about what topic you have in mind? Like, that would be great. You want to talk about, like, just something you want to talk about in our discussions.
Or do you want to talk in general?
Yeah. Or it's something that, you know, you feel personal to you and you want to speak it out.
All right, you had your opportunity. Okay, so who's the next?
John, let him speak. Are you speaking?
No, because I think Dawid's having technical problems more so than he's like, too shy to speak up. Because for the next meeting, I'll enable like call-in option because I only did it for computer audio. So I don't know if that's the issue.
He couldn't. So, yeah, he can't even text us.
Yeah, you
So,
can't.
you know, we will, David, if you can hear me, I will email you later about the, you know, the topics, and I would
You guys
love
hear
to
me?
hear from you. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, can you hear me?
yeah. Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah. My audio is just messed up today. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
That's fine. That's fine.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So,
speak up.
so my topic was that I want to raise the voting age to 21, not 18, because like 18-year-olds shouldn't vote. It does not make sense.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see
that's a
sense
good
of
one.
logic there.
yeah. It's just
Election. So you
yeah.
want to raise the age of
yeah
the
to like 21.
voters. Mhm.
21. So I mean, I'm also open to like raising everything to 21 because like the counter argument would be like, hey, like 18-year-olds can join like the military, so why can't they vote? So I'm open to like raising everything to 21. I just
Mm.
yeah, 18-year-olds shouldn't vote
Why would you think that?
because so right now I'm 22 and I'm just remembering when I was 18 and just remembering my friends when they were 18 and it's just the growth in like 4 years is so massive. Like 18-year-olds, it's yeah.
To be like fully, you know,
Yeah,
mature.
like just like actually like talk to
Like
people from
the
like
age.
that's oh sorry about that. Like they
Go
go ahead.
ahead.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Like they just don't grasp like the consequence, like full consequence of their decision. Like it's more of like groupthink. Like my friends vote this, I'm gonna vote this.
Oh, and
Yeah.
you think it
I
will affect?
kind of want.
Yes, Farhana, what do you say?
I want to add into what Dawid had to say, or if I'm pronouncing your name right. Sorry.
Good, don't worry about it.
When I was in high school, government wasn't until senior year. Government was one class that seniors had to take, and by the time we hit senior year and election, we just were in the first quarter of our government class if we take the first semester of senior year. So we don't know much about government to vote in anymore.
But do America have like civic classes where they teach about government? I mean, know.
Yeah, that's
quote unquote.
That's not until senior year of high school. By then you're 18.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like
oh.
I mean, it's really not that strong, and like no one pays attention here. Like it's like if your parents vote something, you're just gonna like follow them, and you're gonna follow your friends. It's just yeah, like they like 18-year-olds don't really have a grasp on everything. I know I sound old right now, but like yeah.
You're not that old in comparison to some.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like I sound like an old person saying, "Hey, young people shouldn't vote." Like
right.
Yeah, I don't want to sound old, but yeah, 18-year-olds should.
Yeah.
But okay, I see.
I mean, I'm open to like the counter argument because
I like that idea. Yeah.
If we look at what's going on right now, with the gun control protests that have happened, you would think that the counter argument to this would be let 16-year-olds vote because they clearly know what they're talking about the gun control debate because they've been at the forefront of a lot of mass shootings.
I don't want to like interrupt, but most of the gun violence is not rifles, it's handguns, and the focus is on like an AR-15, which is not even like 5-10% of the gun death in the US. It's mostly handguns. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like young people shouldn't like vote because they're like more like susceptible to like propaganda, which is like, look at this AR-15, it's gonna kill you. No, it's handguns.
Yeah, I heard about that argument too. How if you look at percentage-wise in terms of gun violence in our country, it's mainly like handguns.
Yeah.
I heard about that argument.
Yeah, but thing is, like, it's just like, oh, this rifle killed a couple of kids, and like, it's tragic, but it's just like they don't really grasp anything. Yeah, I don't want to sound like a boomer right now, but I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
it's okay.
You put down control down as one of the debate topics. I think.
Yeah, I already put. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I put that too.
Yeah, and David, just feel free to express. You know, don't be we're here to talk.
I know, like I know.
We're not even judging you or anything. Just feel free to like express yourself. And I think you brought up a really good topic for having, you know, raising the age of election, because I do think that voters should have certain criteria to be certified as a voter, you know, because each voter matter a lot. Like it could impact the elections in general. So we does need to have some like, you know, like requirements to be a voter, which is very legit point. And yeah.
Okay, so I promised everyone the meeting will end at 6:15. So we're just gonna head and finish up with the remaining people who haven't had the opportunity to speak yet.
Yeah, so Edward and June, would you like to add anything to the conversation?
Yeah, I put student loans down, but in terms of like the topic we were just talking about, I think it's a valid point, but at the same time, there are 22-year-olds who are as mindless as 18-year-olds. And I understand that experience does add some credibility, but at the same time, just because you're 22 doesn't mean that you're going to be as responsible as
an 18
as an 18. And some 18-year-olds I think are fully responsible. Like there are like 9-year-olds talking in the UN, right? So I think more than age, it should be maybe we can change education, or I think like the freedom of voting comes from like the beauty of having all those different perspectives. But at the same time, I understand like we shouldn't give the voting rights to those who are so irresponsible and mindless, but that's just my perspective.
But how would we determine who is responsible or not?
Exactly. So I don't think there is a way to do that. And once we do start adding standards or like a criteria, I think that's limiting the freedom to vote. So I think like voting is like a interesting topic to talk about. I don't think there are like specific like.
Can I ask a question for June?
Yeah.
So what would be the difference between like a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old?
Yeah. So I think like the age 18 is basically just
arbitrary
point for people that they've set. I don't think like everybody is so different, and I know there's like a level of maturity that comes with age, but at the same time, to limit voting like for 18-year-olds just because of their maturity, or because the majority of them are mindless, I think that's unfair for them.
Oh, so if you don't mind, can I add something? So 18-year-old, who is the one who defined 18 years old to be the maturity, like the mark of maturity? So
If I remember my
because oh
18-year-old thing just became an arbitrary number, because I know for a fact that 21-year-old being the drinking age just became an arbitrary number that they decided would be
right.
the legal age.
Right, I agree, because it's a norm for all the other countries in the world as well, yeah, and it's a really interesting question to brought it up, because yeah, I just a question just popped up in my mind, as why 18-year-old is the mark in, it's like the norm of the world, you know, like they set the 18 years old to do certain things, and not any other age for the 18. So yeah, it just pop up in my head.
Yeah, I
It's
think
not
they just
necessarily like a switch flips on when you're 18, I guess.
Correct.
yeah, I think it's just based upon the physical development of the brain. If you look at the development of prefrontal cortex, for women at least, I think it's at the age of 18, I believe, is when the prefrontal cortex is fully developed. And then for guys, it's a little later, maybe like four years later, I believe, maybe at the age of 21 is when males' prefrontal cortex is fully developed. So maybe they did it based upon some sort of physiological purpose to set the voting age limit at that. But I also wanted to add on to that by saying, I think this is going to be like a vicious cycle where if 21-year-old version of yourself is more mature than an 18-year-old version of yourself, then what is that to say a 24-year-old version of yourself is more mature than the 21-year-old version of yourself, and therefore the 24-year-old is more qualified to vote for the 21-year-old, and that just continues in like a endless perpetual cycle. So I think at a certain point you just have to set an age limit and pray for the best that it doesn't cause,
is that how you do policy nowadays?
Yeah,
hope for the best.
Yeah, democratic processes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's
so what everybody think about the debate topic for next week, for the next week?
Yeah, we can start voting now. Yeah,
we can start the voting.
all right,
actually.
So what we can do first is, Anne, if you can list all of the debate topics and then go one at a time, and people, you can raise your hand as many times as you want to vote for whichever debate topic you want to, and the debate topic that has the most votes for it will be our next debate topic. We're gonna choose teams after that. Okay, so Anne, go ahead.
So can you stop sharing so I can see people?
Yeah, I'll stop sharing. Yeah.
So we have universal basic income. Okay, one, two.
Yeah, two.
Okay, three.
Three in total. Okay.
Okay.
Gallery.
Student loans.
Oh, and David, if you're voting yes, just say yes, and then Anne will count you.
Oh yeah. Student loans.
No.
Two. Okay. And universal healthcare. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. David?
I'm not informed, so I don't want to.
Okay, 5. Gun control.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yes.
Okay, 2.
Yeah.
I
think there was 4 for gun control. Me and Beatrix raised our hands a little late.
Gun control 4. Gun control 4.
Yeah. Also said yes.
4, right?
Yeah, I think 4.
Okay, and elections for 20 years. Raising the age for voters to 21 years old.
Come on. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything else? Oh, Edward too. 4. So that's left us with universal healthcare.
Okay.
Universal healthcare. And whose topic is it?
It was one of mine.
Okay, so who would you like to have? Yeah, then how the
Oh,
John,
yeah.
can you take
So
over?
how it's gonna work is the person who proposes the very debate topic gets to have the priority pickings in terms of a for or against stance. So Farana, are you a for stance or a against universal healthcare?
I am for.
For,
Yeah,
okay.
for.
Do we have
For
anyone
her.
here who's willing to be against universal healthcare?
Why does it have to be against?
No,
Oh,
because it's a debate. It's a debate.
Okay.
It's a debate, obviously. Beatrix, did you raise your hand? Okay, we
Yeah,
have
okay.
one for against. And then how we
Farana.
have the debate structured is 2 per team, but because we have such like a small group, we can just go with one-on-one. But
Mhm.
last call, does anyone want to participate on either side?
Yeah, I'll go against.
You okay? So 2
You
against.
against?
And then does anyone want to
So
help Farana
Beatrix and
here?
David.
Someone join me, please.
Yeah, anyone want to help Frana? Universal healthcare. Oh,
Universal
Bugard.
Health.
I think
Bugard, yes.
Bugard
Come
knows
from the
universal
best.
healthcare better than anybody else. Yeah,
Yes,
Bugard,
best universal healthcare in the world.
Are you willing? Are you willing to participate in the debate for the universal healthcare?
Sure.
Okay, so you're going to work with Farana, so it's going to be a 4 stance.
So here, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to send you guys an email and the contact of each of you for your team, so you guys can go ahead, reach out to each other and talking about and planning, talking, meeting however you like. So our discussion, our debate will take place in next Friday. So which give you a week to prepare.
And also, I recently created a Slack page for us. So if everyone who hasn't registered already, please make sure to register so we have your emails on file so that we can add you to our Slack page.
Yeah, can we just do one platform? Because
Okay,
right now
so
we're all over the place.
Teams is for us. Teams is for us. But the reason why I'm using Slack is so that we have a different communication platform for all of our members. You know,
Okay, on
separately.
Slack,
Yeah, on Slack you
just
can
open a channel for just
and
the
you
executive.
set private
Okay,
and you
if
set
you
private.
guys
Yeah.
insist on sticking with Slack, we can use Slack for everything.
Yeah, let's use one for everything because too much is overwhelming for me.
Yeah, and then on Slack, I'll put the people who the for stance in a separate private group, and the people in against stance in another separate private group, so you can coordinate and work amongst yourself to create an awesome debate for us next Friday.
Yeah, so our time is up now, but if you're down, we can sit down and talk about how we can improve. Like you are free to leave right now, but we would love you if you can stay a little bit and tell us about your experience and what we can do to improve our meeting better. That would be very great. So yeah.
Yeah, and also questions for me as well.
And me too.
And you too. Don't forget Anne. Never forget Anne. Yeah.
Okay, so anyone wanna say something? Like what do you think of the meeting and how can we improve it? Anyone have some yeah, please go
I feel
ahead.
like maybe one thing that could change or could be more clear on next time is before like every section of the meeting kind of say like what the structure is going to be like. So
agenda, like have a meeting agenda.
No, so I mean just now we were trying to get people to just say what they would what they want to debate next time, but then it kind of turned into a debate. And so just maybe at the beginning making clear what the expectation is.
What expectation?
Yeah, could you?
For what?
Okay, so are you talking about how before we start going to like individual discussions about a particular debate topic, we talk about all the debate topics and then start discussing, or? Like,
yeah, or just like making that clear. What we're talking about.
Okay.
Whether we're debating at that point or whether we're just listing at that point, kind of thing.
Okay.
So I have a question. So when you came in this meeting, what do you expect, or do you have no expect at all? Like when you first entered this meeting earlier today, what do you think?
Like no, not really. Not like the. the whole meeting. I'm saying like for every section, what we're talking about at that point.
Yeah, I think what she's saying is basically like when John said, "Oh, we're gonna talk about what topics we wrote down." You could say like, "Oh, we're just gonna list out your individual topics, and then after we can have a discussion about it." So like as of now, like keep it short, something like that.
Yeah, and also to clarify and just to make sure, the debate itself is for the period of time we have allocated for the debate. Anything beyond that, I would say it's safe to say it's discussion. You can see it as a discussion point of view. So that's how I would probably like separate it. Yeah. So always think of it when you're like talking to someone else, think of it like a discussion, interaction. Try not to think of it a debate unless it's the actual debate program that we have prepared for you guys.
Anything else you want to add?
All right, I think some of us are hungry. Some of us probably didn't have breakfast or dinner in my case. So I would say it's safe to end the meeting.
Okay. Okay, bye guys. So I would love to see you guys next Friday.
It's Friday, 5
And yeah, that would be great. By the way, yeah, I'm going to invite a former UW faculty too. He's a faculty at health safety and environmental safety. Health and environmental safety, and he would love to hear about our discussions. So I'm very happy to invite him over. So yeah, that's something I just let you guys know. And I was
we have a list of like exciting guests that we're planning on offering. Because for example, I'm LinkedIn connection with like Dean of the Evans School of Public Policy, and maybe in the future we can get it to the point where it's like Governor Jay Inslee pops by. Like who knows? But definitely that's the kind of scale we're striving for. So yeah, thank you everyone for attending our first meeting for Utopia, and we hope to see you guys next Friday at 5 p.m.
You guys.
Bye, y'all.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Wait.